Hey there, Leo. Welcome back to my channel. If you enjoy my readings, please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as let me know if this reading resonates with you. Alright, so today we're going to do a Narcissistic Tarot reading, and we're going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a quick look. So go ahead and think about the question that you have in mind. Alright, so I just want to go ahead and warn you all, this is an archetype deck, and it does represent your dreams. It represents your subconscious mind and things that you have buried there. So if you're not ready to delve into that, this might not be the reading for you. But it seems like that's what people want, and that's my, videos that get a lot of views definitely have that. So, let's take a moment to, I gotta shuffle these babies up. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. For your first card, what's crossing you? We've got the Seven of Cups. Alright, Seven of Cups is pretty good. It's a pretty good card. I like that card. And let me see. So for the Seven of Cups, alright, so this deck is a lot different than the traditional one, so let me take a look here. It says, the Seven of Cups is not the most welcome card. See, and I was thinking it was a good card, okay? It says, it indicates that you'll be facing temptation in many aspects of your life, whether it's cheating or for pleasure, or for money. You'll soon realize that you've been building a house of cards, and you may feel as though that you can't see clearly and that you can't judge right from wrong or up from down. This is the spell of the Seven of Cups. It's best to remove yourself for a while and step back until you can see straight again. Ooh, okay, so I do understand that. Let's see what Narcissist card come out. Unresponsive. Okay, paranoid personality disorder. Alright, suspicion of infidelity, distrust, cameras, privacy, emotions. So you might feel like, okay, I just want to break out in song real quick. I always feel like somebody's watching me. That is pretty much what I think of whenever I hear this paranoid personality disorder. So, it might be true, or it might be in your head, but you definitely are having rough times, period. Something's not just so. So maybe it's just a rock in the road that might be slowing you down right now. But let's take a look and see about your factors affecting the situation. Alright, so you've got the Death card right here, and factors affecting your situation. So someone close to you has died recently, or it could be an ending of a long time project or something that is a death to a relationship or a friendship, something that has to make you start anew. Okay, and or let's read this Death card, because I don't think I've ever pulled the Death card in this deck, and I did read the book, but it's been a minute, so let's see what it says. No one loves the sight of the Death card in a reading. We spend most of our lives denying death altogether, So when the card appears, it's easy to get frightened or to think it's bad. But don't let this drama distract you from the message. Something in your life needs to end. Okay? It needs closure. This will happen voluntarily or involuntarily. Either way, you will feel a positive transformation begin after the initial forms of suffering have passed. Okay, so anyone who's ever been through a loss knows this. Unless they haven't dealt with their problems, then they may not be aware. Okay, so the death card, we've got the narcissist card that goes with the death card here as personality disorders that root from the childhood trauma or adulthood trauma, such as BPD or traumatic events, continuous trauma, or adapting to a stressful situation. So this has to do with total control by another person, someone who's emotionally dysregulated, reliving traumatic events. I'm trying to say reliving. Difficulties of self-perception, disordered perception, fixation with the abuser, or revenge fantasies, isolation, rescuer, difficulties with one's system of meaning, hopelessness, despair, and physical or sexual abuse. So, I do happen to be really feeling this right here. Like this is something that I've been seeing a lot of suicides actually since the pandemic started, and recently I've actually gone through a lot of suicides. I just want to reach out to anyone right now who might be struggling with suicide and say that there's someone who cares. There's someone who loves you, and don't ever commit suicide, because you're here for a reason. All right, you're here for a reason. So let's go ahead and see what your past says here. All right, so for your past, now if you're just like me and you're dealing with some losses, you know, it will pass too, okay? It's going to pass too. But let's take a look at this Eight of Cups, because look at this, is so sad too. All right, so it looks like you've got some broken cups. And this is right in your past. So some shit hit the fan, okay? And we've got the Eight of Cups. Bear with me, I'm fine. I'm trying to find it here. Okay. Nine of Cups. Getting there. So the Eight of Cups sends an urgent message to pack your bags and move on. There is no hope of rekindling what's been lost. You must start anew. This card also points to phases of illness, physical stagnation. The message could not be more clear. Nothing good remains for you here. Lift your eyes to the horizon and let your feet lead you forward. Okay, so this is kind of a rough situation here, and it looks like it might have something to do with an overt narcissist, someone who is self-interested, sense of entitlement, maybe unrealistic sense of self-importance, or lack of empathy, difficulty forming meaningful relationships, or genetics. So this is something that may have happened to a trauma in your childhood. It could also be something that is affecting you. It says limit your personal information with narcissists. Also, do not argue with a narcissist. Sometimes it's necessary to cut them off completely, especially if there is physical abuse. Especially if there's physical abuse, definitely. Alright, so it looks like in the past you might have been dealing with a very rough situation. Let's go ahead and see what the future holds. Alright, so for your next card, we've got the Tower. All right, the Tower in this particular one is showing a tree that's on fire, but it looks like lightning hit it. So, for the traditional Tower card, basically it shows a tower on fire. So the Tower can mean that, something's not just so. Like whatever had been norm and regular, everything is on fire, and you're trying to run out of the tower before it burns down around you. All right, and I know that just sounds like 2020, right? Okay, I know everything was a little rough in 2020, but this is not your past. This is someone affecting your situation. All right, it says the Tower card appears, and it's time to brace yourself for a change. The well rooted tree that has been growing strong for decades is crashing down around you. Your world may feel as though it's literally falling apart, and you didn't see it coming. Even though this phase is painful and confusing, it will be over soon, and you'll look back and feel grateful that things changed course. You might even see it as a personal breakthrough. All right, and then we've got your narcissist card is positive manipulation. So this is someone, I almost think of like somebody bargaining with you. Like they know something about you and then they try to manipulate you based on their knowledge. Or they might know that you need money and they might say, oh, let me help you. And then, as soon as you feel like, oh, okay, well, then they're going to expect something. Nothing's for free, right? So just be careful what kind of people you have in your life that you're trusting. Even if it's someone who is very positive. And that's the thing about narcissists. You always think that it is somebody who's mean, somebody who's you see the tattooed biker, you're like, oh, they're bad news. But you know what? It's not always the way that somebody looks that can tell you who they really are. So this is about judging a book by its cover. All right, another 8. Oh my gosh, you got an 8 of Pentacles. All right, so for your past, you got an 8 of you got an 8 of Cups, and for your future, you got an 8 of Pentacles. And the Narcissist card for your 8 of, now this one is kind of creepy, okay? It has got a spider on it. And it kind of looks like a Black Widow. Alright, so let's pull a Narcissist card, and it looks like we've got, I know you are, but what am I? Alright, so maybe you have someone who's trying to irritate you. Maybe you have someone that, this is in your immediate future too. This is not past. The 8 of Pentacles says, the spider is a true master of her craft. She weaves against all odds with skill, intricacy, and confidence. The 8 of Pentacles requires a similar approach. Hone your skills. You are close to finding mastery at your craft. So strive for it and pay attention to all the details. In some cases, this card means that you need to find a new hobby or something that you truly enjoy, start a project, or become good at it. All right. Not only that, but education, educating yourself, putting yourself first, solidifying your future. Alright, so I think that's a pretty good reading there. If you have any questions or comments, just leave a message below and let me know. And, yeah, this was a really rough reading. I'm going to pull a Grim card for you, okay? Because that was just so rough. What is the moral of the story? Alright, what are we trying to do, right? Alice in Wonderland. Just do it. Okay? Whatever it is, just do it. Don't be holding back anymore, okay? All right, Leo, it was so good seeing you. Please come back. If you haven't already subscribed, get down there and subscribe right now. And leave me a comment. All right, y'all come back now.